Well, welcome back. This is Dr. Chris Turner again with another of our chiropractic health tips. Today I want to talk about spinal manipulation. It's really the basis of what chiropractic is. I think it can be misunderstood in a lot of ways. When we talk about manipulating something, it's going to be turning it or twisting or something like that of the spine. Probably a better term than manipulation is an adjustment, a chiropractic adjustment. The spinal column will go out of place, it'll get jammed or twisted. I've talked before in some previous of these chiropractic health tips about a subluxation. A subluxation is the body's inability to move a spinal segment very smoothly. So chiropractic adjustment is us using our hands to realign or reposition the bone. It is not like we are a stack of bones and one goes out of place. I'll use the spine, my skinny friend as it were. We are a stack of movable segments, 24 segments in our spinal column, this being the back of the skull, and then we have the pelvis at the bottom. It is not, after I take an x-ray of someone, I'm not looking at the x-ray to go down the spine and saying, this vertebra is sitting out of position all by itself, and then it's straight again, and the chiropractic adjustment just puts it back in place. That's not really quite true. What happens is that there's usually an area or several areas in our spine that don't move well. And you know that. If you twist and turn or sometimes you move your back, you can feel that one area is restricted, it's a little tighter than the other. Oftentimes it's because those muscles are pulling from the spinal bones and they're like tight rubber bands, they're holding it tight. So they resist the free flexible movement of the spinal bones. What the chiropractic adjustment does, I use my hand to reposition or create more movement in that spinal segment. I like to think of it as kind of turning on the switch again. There'll be one area of the spinal segment that's not working well. The subluxation will be blocking the nerve flow, and the interference to that nerve segment will not be able to provide its proper function in terms of going into the internal organs, or if it's in the neck, maybe down to the arm or down to the hand. The chiropractic adjustment then creates more movement there. By re-switching that, you turn on the electric power. You get the brain to communicate with those nerve tissues again. The brain is going to communicate down the spinal cord, out the spinal nerve, and the nerve is going to end up going to a tissue cell. So if we're making a spinal adjustment to correct for that, then that tissue cell can receive its proper function again by nerve flow from the brain. So I don't use the word manipulation that much. I think there's because a lot of people, other than chiropractors, will do things like manipulation. But chiropractic adjustment is very specific. It's related to mostly spinal segment motion and removing nerve interference. And there it is in a nutshell, another one of our segments. Thank you for listening. I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.